Yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody. All right. We were going to have Samir go up, but we want to save you the pain, so we're not going to have him go. All right. No, but you all know Samir, our next comedian. Samir started not too long ago, but he's in the grind. He's there. He's been dope. Just like any other comedian here, he understands the grind here, and we're going to let you all observe. All right, Sam.
Should I get on stage?
At your own risk.
I want to see you
Get
fall.
some of that. Get some of that Pyardi money right there. Towards the end of Vipul's set, I had no clue what he was talking about, like sex and stuff. Like, what? I'm a 42-year-old virgin right here. Like, foreplay? What does that mean? Oh man, Aman, we did it, dude.
Yeah!
We brought India and Pakistan together. And Garth. If you guys have been following current events, India and Pakistan just had a war. It lasted 4 days. That's such a brown person war. 4 fucking days? And I had the under. I thought it would be over by 1 day, because I know my people, you know? And I can totally see day 1 being like, India and Pakistan on the battlefield, the troops are going at it. And they're like, hey, bhai sahab, let's stop the war for a second. Biryani. Day 2, I can see like India and Pakistan soldiers going to Colonel Saab on each side and asking for a day off from war. Because I know my people. And the Indian soldier goes to Colonel Saab, he's like, Colonel Saab, kal meri bibi biryani banai hai. I need a day off. And then I can see the Pakistani soldier going to the Pakistani Colonel Saab and being like, Colonel Saab, I need a day off. Motion sickness ho raha hai war mein. So day 3, half the troops are gone because they requested a day off. And then day 4, no one shows up to war. So Prime Minister Modi from India calls Prime Minister Sharif from Pakistan. Well, what do you want to do, man? Let's just end the war, man. No one's fucking showed up to work. We got a pretty good crowd. The one thing I love about our culture, South Asian culture, is that we're all brown, but we're different types of brown. You know what I mean? Like, there's history behind each one of us. Ankit Patel, my favorite Guju. I haven't seen Ankit since 2014, since Prime Minister Modi came into power. Ankit, remember before 2014 you used to like Muslims? We got Garth, surprise appearance.
I should have said more about Tony before I did.
And it's good seeing Garth, man. I didn't think you were gonna show up to this.
Woo, Garth!
But he's strictly here to gentrify this comedy show. He's a token white boy here. And listen, Garth is so smart. He's one of the smartest people I know. And I'll break it down for you, Garth. If you ever want to gentrify a comedy show, just raise the ticket prices. No brown people will show up. Oh man. The other thing I love about our culture is the family dynamic. Like, I love how we're so united and close, but then there's also problems with that, right? Everybody knows everyone's business. But I think Desi dads have become super underrated. You know what I mean? Like, brown dads have become underrated. And I was like trying to figure out why. Like, I see so many underrated dads here, like Riaz. Riaz, you're so underrated, bro. You have the Hall of Fame like credentials of being a dad, but somehow Stephen A. still calling you underrated. And so I was thinking like why they have become so underrated, you know? And they see dads are terrible at marketing. They're terrible. And they see moms are amazing at marketing. Like if you ask a Desi mom to do anything, everyone will know that she did it for you. You know what I mean? But they see dads, like they don't know what's going on because they grew up in a different time. They didn't get love from their parents. Like I could come home from graduation and I'll be like, hey dad, I just got a PhD. And it would be like awkward silence. And we would just stare at each other like we're in a Texas gunfight. And he'll be like, hesitation, and then he'll be like, so what do you want, like a hug or something? I could come home from the hospital and be like, Dad, Daddy, I just beat cancer. And there'd be this awkward pause and he would stare at me. And he's like, what do you want from me? A pat on the back or something? You can beat cancer. Take it easy, bro. But one thing I love about our dads, the Desi dads, is they have so much game. They're so good with the ladies and it's become super underrated. Because my dad was the most charismatic, funny guy I've ever met, right? And he had Nusi, my mom, wrapped around his fingers. But dads are terrible. They see dads are terrible at showing emotion, right? So like, but they're subtle. They have those subtle lines that hit you hard, right? And I didn't realize this until I got older. Because when you're young, you're like, what the fuck, dad? You know, like, what are you saying right now? But when you get older, you start realizing your dad was dropping lines on your mom all the time. You know what I mean? So we used, like brown parents in the 90s, used to just go to South Coast Plaza, Brea Mall. OC kids know this. We created window shopping. If it's not on sale, it has to be more on sale before there's even a transaction happening. So one time I was 9 years old and we went to South Coast Plaza, right? And it was me, my mom, my dad, my sister. And it was a really like fun time, like a core memory, right? Me and my parents hanging out. And we left my sister at the food court because she loves the food court. And so we opened tab at every restaurant at the food court so she could go to town. And we just left her there. So we were walking, me, my dad, and my mom, and we walked past Victoria's Secrets. And I'm 9 years old, so I have no clue, right? And I still don't. After Whipple said, I'm still figuring out what he was talking about. Sex? What the fuck? And so, what is that? And so he looks at my mom with the most confident, like, Desi dad swagger, and with a smirk on his face, and he's like, no, see, I know what the secret is. And a classic, like, Desi mom reaction is like, hey, chup chup, bacha hai. But inside, she was on cloud 9, because my dad just dropped a line. My mom used to throw card parties for my dad because my dad was a pimp, you know? And so all his homies used to come through, and it was like a card party where no one bluffed. So I was always confused, like, no one's bluffing. This is the weirdest poker. And so it's like they were all Guju money over there, like no one's bluffing. And so she used to bring chai at the end for the homies, right? But she would always give my dad the first cup. And I realized later how romantic that is, right? Because no girl's ever done that for me. But when the transaction of the chai cup to my dad happened, I realized later my dad dropped another line. And he would grab the cup, and I was like 11 years old at this time, allowed on the no bluff poker table. And he looks at my mom with the most swagger, Desi dad swagger, and with a big smirk on his face. And he's like, Nusi, garam chai, just the way I like it. And then he would wink. Like, why are you winking? It's so weird. But now I realize those are lines. You know what I mean? They were great lines. And so as I got older, me and my dad like got closer in our relationship. And I think like the one thing that he never said it out loud, but I think he thought that having game in his family skipped a generation. So he didn't care if I was a doctor or a lawyer or whatever. He was just like, I felt it. I felt the energy of like, man, my son has no game. So towards the end of his life, like, you know, me and my dad were close, and, you know, you can tell things are happening with health and stuff. So I was like, you know, I was 38. I was like, maybe I need to figure it out. I did a self-evaluation on myself. And I took a piece of paper and a pencil, and I was like, I think I have no game. I need help. And so I wanted to do one thing for my dad before he passed away, and I was like, maybe at 38, I should find a good smiley girl and just get married so he could be at the wedding, right? So I need help, right? Because I have no game. And so I decided to go to Moss that night. And I wore a really nice outfit and I bought new cologne. And after prayer service was over, I walked over to the ladies' side. And I walked to the auntie mafia. And they looked at me and they're like, what are you doing at the ladies' side? You have no game. I was like, thanks, Mom. What the fuck? We know this. It's skipped a generation. And so I was like, listen, aunties. And it's like 3 core aunties in Arcane, Nusi, Yasi, and Ani. And I was like, wait, listen, I'm gonna humble myself. I wrote down on a piece of paper, I need help. Let's make this happen. Use your connections, hook me up with the girl. Let me do my thing. Because I think I can do it. So the next weekend, there was a wedding. Mysteriously, a wedding popped up. These guys work fast, man. The Auntie Alliance, they work quick. And they're like, hey, there's a really beautiful girl coming to this wedding and we think it's a good match for you. And I was like, I'm ready. You know what I mean? Like, I'm ready for this moment. It's been 38 years. I want to feel what Vipul feels every day. Having crazy sex. 401k sex. And so I got a really nice outfit. I bought it online. It was like $99, but it was coming from Pakistan, so I never got it. So I had to use an old outfit. So I show up to this wedding, and this girl was the girl of my dreams. She was so beautiful. Light-skinned, smiley girl, light brown eyes, in shape. Because I'm not in shape, one of us has to be in shape. And she was laughing at my jokes. I was like, oh shit. Because no one laughs at my jokes. And so I was like, holy shit, dude. I was like, and then I pointed at the Aunties Alliance because they kept eyeing. They didn't even eat food that day. It was like fucking surveillance video. And I kept winking at them like, it's going good, right? Towards the end of the night, everything was going really good and I had my old outfit on. But the one thing about my old outfit is, like when you wear shalwar kameez, there's a thing called the nari, right? Annie, nari, right? Nara. And that night, I never like tied my own nara. And so the whole day of the wedding, we were like, I was like, man, I'm about to lose my virginity tonight. And so we're at the chai station, right? And I'm like, I'm gonna, because it was at a hotel, I had a hotel room, I was ready to go. And so we're drinking chai, and the nara comes loose. And my pants are falling off. And so I was like, I got really nervous. 38 years of my life, no girls ever liked me until this girl. But why did my nara have to break? And so I get super nervous and I start hesitating, right? And she's like kind of catching that I'm not confident anymore. And she's like, what the fuck? Why is this guy like jittery? Because I was trying to hold up my pants. And so I felt her hesitation. And so I was like, we're at the chai station. And I was like, hey, chai bahut garam hai na? She's like, what? She's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then I was like, I know the secret. She's like, what secret? I was like, that Victoria girl? That girl that it's at the mall and it's a Victoria's Secret girl? She's like, what? And so at this point, I look over and I see my dad's homies. Siru, P. Diddy, Nazir Uncle, and my dad. And they're all staring at me like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And I can see the disappointment in my dad's face. And at that moment I realized, and it was official, that the game had skipped a generation. And so I walk away because I needed to fix my pants, right? It's not a good look walking around a wedding with just the top. And I come back and she's gone, the girl of my dreams. She's talking to Sagar fucking Patel. I was like, God damn, Sagar. Always talking about loyalty and fucking best friends and Mr. Steal Your Girl right there. So then I walk over to the Alliance, my dad's homies. And I know I disappointed them and it was a really traumatizing experience. And I see Siru's face, no laughter. I see Diddy. Hey, Diddy's like, what am I doing at this wedding? And then my dad just stares at me. And there's an awkward silence. And this is the first time he's actually shown emotion in his life. And he puts his hand on my shoulder. And I was like, oh, maybe he's gonna tell me, get him next time when Sagar's not around. And he's like, Samir, you're my son, but even I know you don't know what the fuck the secret is. Listen, that's my set. I want to say one thing. I want to say one thing before I get off. This set was a Father's Day set that I had like all the fathers, because we're all close friends. I was thinking about all your guys' dads when I was writing this. And so I want to thank our dads. Because I think Desi dads, Crown dads, you guys sometimes don't get enough love because you guys suck at marketing. But you guys deserve everything. I see so many great dads in this audience. Azhar's kind of overrated, but everybody else is very underrated. And I really want to thank you guys for making the time to come here and just listen to some comedians. And let's have a good time. If you guys want to stay after, we're chilling. So let's all chill and hang out.
Give it up for Samir!